Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 2017 Mercedes-Benz E350D 4MATIC All-Terrain. Now at 705 horsepower, 1,248 pounds-feet of torque from a 3.5 litre diesel turbo V6 engine, and the car itself weighs 3,332 pounds. Now has off-road tyres to go with its all-wheel drive system as well as off-road suspension, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.422 seconds, 0 to 100 in 6.814 seconds, and going to a top speed of 204 miles an hour. So yeah, the Mercedes-Benz 6x6 didn't do all that well in the previous episode, so I'm hoping that this diesel-powered estate car can do better. It should do in terms of being more agile, but obviously it does have less horsepower, and yeah, isn't as off-road orientated, though. I feel like the 6x6 was too heavily weighted in terms of being off-road orientated and not enough in terms of being an actual good handling vehicle. So yeah, hopefully this is a bit more of a happy medium. It's certainly a lot lighter than that 6x6, and yeah, has more torque as well, which is obvious considering it's a diesel engine that's been fully upgraded. So yeah, that torque is going to help us get out of the corners really rather sharpish, especially with that all-wheel drive system as well, which thankfully it had in its stock form, so it's not dealing with that as an extra, but obviously it is dealing with the off-road tyres and the slightly raised off-road suspension. But again, it was still somewhat slightly off-road orientated in its standard form, so that raised suspension isn't going to be asking too much of it. It's only really the extra power and torque that's going to be any kind of struggle, if it is going to struggle at all. So yeah, as you can see though, it's getting to a fairly decent rate of speed, especially for a car that doesn't have anywhere near the level of power as several other vehicles on this series. And even cars that do have less horsepower than this generally do weigh a lot less as well. So yeah, horsepower and weight isn't on its side, but torque and abilities in terms of off-roading certainly are. And it's making mincemeat of these jumps and bumps. And holding its good rate of speed as well. And unlike the 6x6, it's not plagued by awful understeer, only controllable oversteer, which is good. And decent rate of speed across the finish line there. So yeah, Mercedes 6x6 managed 2 minutes 10.224. This managed a much better 2 minutes 6.386. So yeah, fairly impressed by that, and I think that's one of the fastest diesel engines we've had on this game, if not the fastest. I'd have to look into that a little bit more, but yeah, I think it's the second fastest, as the Mini X-Raid All-4 Racing Countryman came in 5th. But yeah, this is still fairly formidable, and this was at the end of the day an ordinary road car, whereas that Racing Countryman certainly wasn't. So yeah, manages to beat out the likes of the Lancia Stratos HF Stradale, Ford Escort RS 1600, Ram 2500 Power Wagon, Renault 5 Turbo, Porsche Cayenne Turbo, Alfa Romeo Stelvio, and the Volvo 242. It's slightly behind the Renault Alpine A110 and the Mercedes-Benz X-Class, as well as the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo and the Opel Manta 400. So yeah, it's slap bang in the middle of all those older rally cars and all those modern SUVs. So yeah, fairly impressive to be honest, considering, like I said, it's not got anywhere near the level of power of several other vehicles that it's faster than or slightly behind while still having a fairly decent amount of weight as well. So yeah, fairly impressed by that, and yeah, it was easy to drive and quite fun to drive as well, because the oversteer was a nice change, considering that 6x6 was an understeer mess in the previous episode. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.